Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chop and Slice. My name is Michael, and this is
Brandon,
we're here to talk about
The Collection 2012. It was not as good as the first.
not even close.
It was still pretty good. It was a little bit more over the top.
Little over top. Had a pretty epic kill scene in the beginning where the collector wipes out about 50, 75 people with
these spinning blades or something.
Yeah.
And it started when the girl opened the box and Arkin was in there.
Yeah, Arkin returns.
And that's what triggered the...
Right. Arkin, again, he's back. We're not quite sure how long in between this movie takes place from the first one. I assume a few days, a week or two. But, Arkham's back. Josh Stewart plays Arkin, who's, again, in this movie, a great character. I'm really a big fan of Arkham and Josh Stewart portrayal of him. To me, he's one of... he's not a final girl, because it's not a girl, but a great final guy, I would say. This guy's just a badass. He finds a way. He almost just outsmarts the collector a lot of the time. You know, he's just constantly outsmarting the guy, and he sure does piss him off in this movie.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Big thorn in his side.
Yeah. So basically, the movie opens up. We meet our main character, Elena.
Not really too big of a fan of her.
She really wasn't even. Again, they tried to make her the final girl, but it was really still evolved, or the movie still evolved around Arkin. Basically, he was still the main. Yeah, revolved around Arkin. So
yeah, he's still the star of the film, but they tried to add a secondary in there, but she just doesn't. You know, she's just not Arkin. You know.
No. And to me, this movie, I'm not really a big fan of this movie, because the first one works so well because it was a home invasion movie, and I felt on edge the entire movie, and it felt just like one guy. This movie gets convoluted. You got a whole team going in there, a team of professional. We don't even really know what they are, and they just get killed off one by one. Bunch of idiot asshole dudes with guns. I mean,
but what is interesting though, the first movie, it's like a home invasion where the collector invades someone else's home, but in this one they invade his home.
Right.
Basically, so it was kind of opposite.
And I noticed the collector looked a little bigger in this movie. It's because he did he was portrayed by a different actor, so I didn't like his portrayal as good in this one as a collector as I did the first one.
Yeah, I'd agree.
They just got a little too cute for their own sake. The first one was really, really good. Really, really good. This one, I was expecting more out of the sequel coming from the first.
But they always just try to top what the first did.
Yeah, but it always ends up kind of screwing things up, because to me nothing stood out in this movie other than the opening kill, which is pretty sweet. Bad CGI, but that's to be expected. 2012, a low budget movie. I had a budget of 10 million, made 9.9 million, so it actually lost money. So at the box office, at least, I'm sure DVD distribution and everything, they made money. But
well, even at this point, not many people are buying DVDs.
No, but back in 2012 they were.
Not so much.
prior to streaming services.
I guess.
So, again, this isn't the most popular movie through the horror community. You don't really hear a lot of talk about the collected, or the collection. The collected is a possible third film that they're working on, hopefully. But I feel like this movie should have been a lot better than what it was. Again, too much going on. It's basically just him setting up traps, killing off people one by one, which is always cool. But the characters aren't likable. The reason the first one worked so well is there was pretty much just one character, Arkin, and he was a very likable character. This one, Arkin's great. He hasn't changed, but the other characters kind of drag him down a little bit, and he gets treated like crap again. So I don't know. Brandon, you like this movie a little bit more than I do, I feel like, so.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just, it's definitely a good movie. I mean, it's not a shit movie. It's just kind of, you know, for me it was just like, here it is. You know, it wasn't like wow, but it definitely had action.
Yeah, it had
That's for
action, but
sure.
I feel like it's a movie I've seen before. I don't know. I feel like people walk in,
It's
they
one
get
of those movies where, like, it had the action, because the first movie sets up the story
yeah.
and all that, so it's a
Actually,
bit slower, but
yeah, we don't
the,
even really know what's going on in the first movie.
but then they feel like in the second movie they can just go all out, and I feel like that's what they did.
Yeah, the first movie was so somewhat
Wow.
realistic. Somewhat realistic, and it had a sense of realism. This one, the traps were just goofy. They don't explain how he can just build these traps in a club. Very, complicated traps.
That's what was losing me. Like, at that club, he built such a, like a real complicated trap in the middle of a club. Like, how did he have time to set all that up?
That would have taken 3 months, 3 or 4. I don't even know. Maybe longer. And it's just him. How is he lifting this equipment? How is he bringing the equipment in the buildings? Again, it's a slasher. You got to kind of just, to forget about sense, I guess. But we kind of forgive horror movies with this, making sense of stuff. But
sometimes these people in these horror movies, they like to somehow. I feel like they like to think that we're stupid sometimes. Like we'll just watch the movie and just be like, "Oh yeah, that was badass," you know.
Yeah, in the first movie, we see him kill 4 people, 4 or 5 people, 5 people. In this movie, he just in the beginning wipes out 60 60 people. I want it to be more grounded and realistic, and
They just wanted to make this movie a bloodbath.
yeah, and I feel like everything I loved about the first is not in this movie at all. So I look at it as a total different film. I was going into it expecting to like it as I watched it, and I remembered some of it, like the big club kill, but
That's like the only thing that sticks out.
Yeah, the characters aren't likable. Elena's not really likable either.
But a lot of these bigger traps, some of them kind of make sense. Well, the one in the club I can't explain, but the fact that they're in this huge abandoned warehouse, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And so, because it's his fortress, like, he'll have time to prep all that up. But I don't know.
Until we know more about his background and stuff, because these traps, man, you'd have to be working day and night. And then plus is going on torturing, killing people, turning people into humanified zombies and stuff, drugging them up so bad, and just have their brain fried, so they're just attacking people. That got a little corny for me.
that was a little much.
Because in the first, he just seems like this sick, sadistic like asshole who just wants to torture people. This one, he's like just a, I don't know. It's over the top. Felt kind of like a super villain, more like you'd see in a superhero movie or something like that. So I don't know.
And also in the first one, it doesn't really show like him being good like at hand to hand combat. And this one, they made him out like he was Chuck Norris or something.
Yeah, like he's slicing people up and throwing people around and kicking ass. Trained, I assume the guy who went to go save Elena was a trained fighter. I mean, he was part of a special forces team or something. I don't know. They don't
I
really
don't really know
explain
what
that.
he is.
Yeah, it's not really explained, unfortunately, which sucks. But I don't know. This whole movie was confusing to me. There's just too much going on, There's too many bad characters.
It just seems like a cash grab.
Lucello, the character who tries to save Elena, she saved because he previously saved her dad a long time ago in an accident. Her dad uh, obviously hired Lucello to go save Elena. Lucello ends up dying, and so does his whole team, other than Arkin. So Arkin and Elena, they survive. Funny enough. So yeah, it was just some cool traps and stuff, but for me, I enjoyed the first one so much. It felt like a different movie altogether, in my opinion, than this one.
It, yeah, like I said, this movie is just your typical sequel where they just wanted to go all out from the first one. Like, okay, you've already met the collector. All right, now we can just unleash everything we got.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much what it was. But
yeah. To
it
me, like
just
the traps in the first one looked brutal because they were so realistic. I could see
not all
somebody.
of them were, but
Well, most of them were. I mean, this one he's got spikes just coming down from the ceiling, and the other ones were in the first one were kind of like the bear trap set up, just like uh, hooks hanging, little traps, nothing too whacked out. But in this one, he's got spikes coming down from the floor. Freaking, I don't know. There's a lot going on in this one, so very interesting.
well, there was also some small subtle traps in this one, like where he pulls the door handle and there's a knife sticking out of it.
Yeah, that
Slices
was
his hand.
interesting. I like that
That
part.
yeah, that's a more realistic one. But yeah, of course there were some that were just not believable.
No, no. Collector's not a bad slasher. Unfortunately, at the end, I would have because Arkham. Okay, so Arkham survives. So does Elena. The Collector ends up escaping after being burned. I don't know how he escaped
Some
that,
maybe the
but
water.
no, he was in a different room though. Remember, he threw him down the chute.
Well, maybe some of it got down the chute.
No, it didn't. But but you saw the zombie like humify, whatever they are. You saw them kind of like run at him, so maybe they pulled him and dragged him away, possibly.
But there was this other girl that was the blonde
The
that like.
blonde, yeah, that trap was sick. She got encased into that like claw.
But I'm just talking about her personally. Like I don't really know what she was about.
She was just like his slave. I don't know. She's kind of like his snitch for in case anything happened in there. She could tell on him and stuff like that. So she's probably been tortured, tortured so much emotionally and stuff, and has her working for him and stuff. I don't really know the deal. I didn't like her character either.
And I don't know what she meant by like when she was talking to Elena, like you know, with the hearing aid, like Like he won't choose you or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot. I even forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't see. I want to know, what does he do with his collection? How are you
Yeah, we still
chosen?
haven't seen that. Well, we saw yeah, we haven't seen that. We saw that guy crying that he wasn't part of the collection, and then he got bomb attached to him. So this guy knows how to build bombs, build traps, hand to hand combat, how to use a rifle, how to train dogs to be vicious,
How to use insects?
how to
Oh,
turn.
yeah, that's the other thing. What's up with all the spiders? Because they
I
were
don't
showing a lot
know.
of that in the first movie. It showed a lot of that in this
Yeah,
movie.
how to and how to drug people up. So I don't know. This guy can do it all. Apparently, they made him OP in this one. Unfortunately, like in the first one, yeah, I could believe something like that maybe. But in this one, it just got too much, a little too much, especially with the club kill and stuff.
But overall, I still think it was good.
And we still don't know a motive other than he's just a sick, sadistic mofo.
And he doesn't talk either.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I was getting to
yeah,
that. In the end, he does when Arkin finds him. And unfortunately, he does talk, which I didn't like that. If that is him, there's a possible chance it wasn't and he got the wrong guy. I'm led to believe he had the right guy because that guy kind of made that same growl at him that the collector made. So I'm inclined to believe that's the same guy. And we'll see if they make a third one. The Collect did. But that was a cool ending how he kind of kicked him in his own box. Now he has control of him.
I want to just see this guy suffer, dude.
I hope he does. He deserves it.
I don't even know what would be a fair punishment.
Like I
for
said
this
in the
guy.
first one, he's not like a Freddy, Jason, or Michael where you can root for him. This guy's just an asshole, and I don't like him. And I don't like him. So maybe that's why the movies don't do well. But I'm a big fan of Arkin. Like I think that's what the whole idea of Final Girls and Final Guys are. I'm kind of like that with Sidney Prescott and Scream. Like with Arkin in this one, I want to see, like with Scream, I want to see Sidney kick their ass. I don't really want to see Jamie Lee Curtis kick Michael's ass. That's the difference, you know. I don't want to see Nancy.
There's like a weird gray area.
Yeah, but I also don't want to see Michael kill Jamie.
Well, it is kind of funny when Nancy kicks Freddy's ass.
Yeah, but I don't want her to completely wipe out Freddy. But in this one, the collector is not likable. You're not gonna wear his merch. Not gonna get a collector mask. Collector is a terrible, terrible human being. In so many different ways other than your average serial killer slasher guy. So he tortures. They confirmed that he tortures kids, kills kids. They didn't really show a kid in this one, but they
confirmed it.
They confirmed it.
They don't show it, but they confirmed it.
This guy's an asshole, and he deserves to die. Been tortured to death, and I hope the third installment's just Arkham torturing him the entire time because he deserves it. This guy, feels like he can just do whatever he wants, and he has a backup plan for everything.
Maybe that's what Collected is. The collector was collected.
Who knows?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see that. I also don't get how Arkham escapes and then he gets handcuffs put on him. That was stupid. And then because they knew he was a victim in the beginning, remember?
Yeah.
How he goes to the hospital and then this is my victim, or this is my whatever. They put handcuffs on Arkham. Why? Guy clearly escaped. He didn't do anything wrong. That made no sense. That's just a little. And again,
maybe he's in trouble with other shit.
Who knows? And again,
he's got a lot going on.
Guy just escaped. I don't know. And again, the way it was filmed, the filter's not the best looking quality, but
and the resiliency of Arkin. I mean, everything that he was put through.
Yeah, Arkin.
He had that one girl break his arm again, so he can.
He is literally he's the perfect foil to the collector. If you really want somebody to hate your villain, you need a great anti-hero hero. He's not the nicest guy, Arkham. He's kind of he's made some mistakes in life. He's not the best guy in the world, but
He's very compassionate though. Like anytime he hears someone screaming, he always goes
yeah,
and
he always
helps them.
goes. There was a moment in the movie where he was faced with a tough decision and he was forced to leave Elena in the box. What was he gonna? He was gonna just get himself killed, and that does nothing for either one. So kept himself alive. He eventually helped Elena survive, and Elena helped him survive because the collector lit the whole hotel motel on fire. That's a pretty big motel, by the way. There was just a lot going on in that place. But
It seems like that's what he likes to do. Whenever he's done with the place, he just burns it down, which is smart.
well, no, he started burning it down because the cops came.
Right. Well,
He wanted to keep his collection. He obviously put a lot of work into that place, so he was pretty upset that he had to burn it. But yeah, overall, I'll get to the ratings.
all right.
So my rating out of 10 for this movie, like I said, it was decent. It's not the best, not the worst film. I'm gonna give this movie honestly a 5.5 out of 10. Just not what I wanted out of a sequel. I love the first one. To me is really really good, and hopefully will be looked at as a classic. It's so underrated. You don't hear anybody talking about it. This one was just made for the sake of making it, and I don't know how it even got a better Rotten Tomato score in my opinion. Got 10% better. So, yeah, for all the reasons I talked about, but they're Arkham. They didn't change his character, and Arkham's a great character. He the role was played very well, and he's the reason why this movie is at least at a 5.5 for me. Brandon,
I'm gonna go 7 out of 10. It was I enjoyed the action, but like I said, it was a little too over the top. I didn't really care for some of the new, but Arkin is really what makes this good. You
yeah,
know, it's really about him. I mean, that's what it is. He, he's really the only thing that's kind of bringing this up for me.
yeah,
But yeah, a lot of the stuff in it was just kind of dumb though, and just unnecessary.
yeah, a lot,
A lot of that. But other than that, I think it's a good movie. It's good to sit down and watch.
yeah.
But it was just, it's like they just tried to outdo the first, but
It
they just went a little too much. That's all it was. That's
sometimes
all it was.
sometimes being simplistic is the best thing to just be simple. Make it a simple movie. They try to do way too much.
Yeah, but for people that like all the blood and gore, like me, that they just want to make something that's just,
Yeah, I'm more
totally.
particular in the thriller aspect. That the first one kept me on edge. Like this one, I knew what was going to happen. I knew that whole team was going to get wiped
Yeah,
out.
it was predictable,
So predictable.
but yeah, first one you had no clue, but
First one had you on edge the entire time. Like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? A lot of emotion. In this one, I had really no emotion.
again, these are just our opinions. You're more
Yeah,
than welcome to go see it on your own.
and to me, the dynamic with Arkham and the little girl is a lot better than Arkham and Elena in this. So that's another thing. So, so that gives it an official Chop and Slice rating of 12.5 out of 20. So, yeah, that is our opinion of the collection. I do want to see a collected. Brandon, would you like to see a collected?
Yeah, I do. I actually want to know what happens next after Arkin put him in that box.
I would love to find out. I'm very excited. Hopefully that comes out soon.
Yeah, he asked him if he was gonna kill him, and he's like, "No, because that'd be too nice. I'm gonna make you feel everything I felt,
Right.
and then I'm gonna kill you." And then threw him in that fucking box.
He definitely deserves it because the collector is a terrible, terrible person. But so obviously we know Arkham knows who he is. So Maybe we'll find out more about
And
the
I
guy.
think he's the only one that knows who he is.
Yeah. But he's stupid for not calling the cops. As always, but, he wants to get his revenge.
Well, you know what? I think what's going on here is he doesn't want to call the cops because the cops are just gonna, what are they gonna do? Arrest him? He'll have right to an attorney,
Probably no evidence.
and most likely he won't even get death.
But
He'll
if
get life
Arkham,
in prison.
but if Arkham can figure this out, who he was, the cops should have been able to figure it out. But who knows?
And also, with this guy, he'll probably claim insanity and whatever.
Maybe, but you think about how many people he killed. But actually, it's probably personal to Arkham. He does want to make him feel everything, so
that's why he doesn't want to call the cops, because he...
And I hope he tortures this mofo, because he deserves it. I don't care. This guy wiped out...
There's nothing that the U.S. Judicial system can offer that would be good enough.
Yeah, punishable enough.
Right, for this guy, so
yeah, guys, that is our review on the collection. Be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to. Check out our other videos. And yeah, this has been Chop and Slice, the collection. And I don't know how to end this with a tagline other than... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, guys, enjoy the collection if you go to see it. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Go watch The Collector. And start a petition online for The Collected. I mean, yeah, the two movies didn't make a lot of money, and he's not a Freddy, he's not a Jason, he's not...
But these are definitely good underrated films.
Yeah, the first more so than the second, but as a duo, pretty good, pretty solid. What would you rank the two as a duo? Like as a back-to-back out of 10? I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm probably in the
as
same
a duo.
ballpark.
Yeah. So, yeah. Go check them out. Let's hope for a collected.
Again, this wasn't a bad movie. I feel like it did have more good than bad in it.
It wasn't. It was just more about the first being so good, and this one kind of let me down. More about that. If I never seen the first and I just saw this, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, it isn't terrible. But seeing the first, I had high expectations for this one, and it kind of let me down a little bit. So that's the only reason why. They should have did something else. I don't know. But yeah, guys, this has been Chop and Slice, and we will see you next time. Peace.